Okay. Now we will see another technique by which also we can handle the parameterized query. That is done by using a pair of curly bracket. Just like the way I have done the parameterized query with a percentage sign, you could have also achieved that by writing a pair of curly brackets. Like you had to represent this particular SQL command. Select star from item, okay, where price is greater than something. Fine. So wherever you have to write greater than something, you could have written here. You could also write, if you want to, a pair of curly bracket like this. Fine. And what you can do is, say, imagine I have another another part of the query where I also want another parameter to be used. So you can write and just like the way I was doing in the previous example, where I name equal to say something. Now that will be again non-numeric. So non-numeric means the rule is same, what I was explaining you. Here also pair of curly bracket will come, but the pair of curly bracket will come within a pair of single quotation or double quotation mark, whatever you want. And obviously this part will be embraced by a pair of double quotation mark as it is. Fine. And then you have to write, there is a function here called format. This is the second way of doing it, the second method of doing it. Here we do not use any percentage sign or s. Here we use a function called format. Okay. So after this you have to write dot. When the string is finished, you have to write format. Basically it is in the form of, you can say, a string dot format command. Format is a function. Okay. And here within the function you have to write the values. Okay, or the variables. Like I want to pass two values. If I want to pass two values, my name, say I took one variable I took called IT, where I input the name of the item, and this is my price. And while replacing the values, look at this, first comes the price, okay, and then comes the name. So we have to write it also accordingly. We should not mix and match, right? We should not mix it up badly. Fine. It should be first PR and then we should write ID. Fine. That is how also we can do it. So what is the rule I said? The rule is, first of all you write the command, and wherever you need something to be replaced or the placeholders, this will be represented by a pair of curly bracket. If a particular placeholder is to be replaced by a non-numeric value, then you put the placeholders, that is pair of curly bracket, within a pair of single quotation mark or double quotation mark. Okay, and when the command is finished, you put double quotes back. This is your string. Okay, what I wrote here, dot format function, dot format, and here you have to write the values. So if I write the values here, PR dot item, it is perfectly already not item, sorry, I took it IT. So we will write IT. But by mistake, if I write IT.pr, then we will go wrong. It will be absolutely wrong things. Because in that case, price value will be passed on to item and non-numeric value will be passed to this numeric comparison, which is not possible. So it will show an error. So here the rule is, whichever order you write the values, in the same order they are picked up and they keep on replacing the placeholders, which in this case is curly bracket. Fine. Another thing which we can do here, so that we don't mix up the values, like first it is a price, then it is item. So what you can do here is you can number them, like this is my parameter 1, so you can name it as P0. You can name it as P1. This is just a technique I am talking about. It's not necessary that you have to do it, but just see the technique. It is given in your textbook, so I thought I will tell you. It is a good technique actually, so that people don't mix up while writing the SQL commands. And here also while writing, if you want, again it is not compulsory, but if you want, you can put here some numbers like 0 and 1. Rule will be same. Fine, if you write 0 and 1 as if this is the placeholder number 0, it is representing, this is placeholder number 1, and so on. So what happens here also while giving the values, now you are very clear that this is to be replaced by the value P0 and this is to be replaced by the value P1. Then in that case, chances of making mistakes from our side will be less. That is the only advantage that we can have. But how to write it properly? We will write exactly the same thing. We will have to put it in a variable like this. Take a variable, say I took a simple name, st equal to, within a pair of double quotation mark, you will write the full command within double quotation mark, following all the rules of the placeholders. These all numbers you can give, you may not like to give, it's up to you. Dot format, and within the format function as an argument we will specify the values which are actually going to replace these placeholders. That is the rule. Now we know that we have to finally put things here. Unless we put it here, it's not going to execute. So here we will write my C, this is my cursor object dot execute. Here you saw me last time writing the SQL command. So now my SQL command, the whole command is ready. So I will write here just st. Fine. And after that the rule is same. You take a variable and then you do myc dot fetch all. Fetch all function you use to extract the data. That part I will show you fully in my notes tonight. So this is how we can make an arrangement whereby user will communicate to the program, okay, and user will be able to pass select values to do the queries. That is the advantage we will have here. Another way you can do it is basically the same thing, but another way you can do it, you can, if you remember in the first method, I should have actually told you earlier on. The first method you saw, we form a string and then we write %v in this format we do it. So the same command, we can write it like this. Look at this, we can take a string, say str, and we can write str equal to select, okay, star from, okay. Now one more thing, the interesting thing, let me tell you. Normally you saw me or you practiced all the SQL commands, you write in different lines so that the understanding of the commands become clear. Select whatever from where you write in the next line. That is how you have practiced in class 11. So here also if you want to break up the commands into 2-3 different lines, then instead of double quotes you also use here the same rule which you learned in class 11, that is triple quotes. Fine. Triple quotes opening and triple quotes closing. Then it will allow you to write the command breaking up into different lines. You can try out if you want to, not compulsory. Fine. So what has happened is this f we can write like this. Look at this, st equal to, you can write select star from item. This is my table. Okay, there is no place here. I was meant to write in the same line, but space is less, so I am writing the next line where price, say I want to write price, say I am using only one parameter only. I wanted to write price is greater than something. So I took a normal placeholder. This rule I told you, my first rule. Okay, you can write this. Fine. Or imagine there are two parameters only. We can try it out with two parameters since we are trying it out. And again, I am supposed to write in the same line, no space, so I am writing it here. And IM equal to, I put it within a single quotation mark because it is non-numeric. This is my SQL command, actual SQL command. Fine. So write only this much as a part of a string, form a string like this. And after you input this P1 and P0, you realize that P0 will come first, then P1 will come. So you form a tuple. Say the tuple name is, I wrote para. Para equal to, you take these two values that you have input from the user and write it like this, para P0, P1. Okay, a tuple will be formed. Now you can write this command, you can write myc.execute. Here you can write the same thing, st, and you can write a % sign and write para. then also meaning will be same. It is following the same format as f%v. This is my f, this whole thing is my f. And you know that when we write the tuple basically specifies all the values which will go and replace the placeholders. And before that it is compulsory to write a percentage. We have seen in the syntax. So we will write percentage and the parent. So this way we can communicate to the SQL commands to choose the values which are to be used in the query. Fine?